Equitable distribution is one of the marks of democratic dividends, where the people have reposed their confidence in an elected apparatus, that is, elected government. A social contract based on trust exists. It is then the right of the electorate to expect the presence of government around them. Oftentimes, this does not happen. The presence, which is an imperative, is a far distance. But some hope have come to life. The new local government financial autonomy, it has been adjudged as definitely a sure way to deliver dividends of democracy to the governed. This especially can close the trust deficit gap between the people and government. It will close the power distance index, often referred to as PDI. So we have our guests on Bridges today who will give us details and what this means to all of us, because we all come from a local government. Muji Makojola, and this is Bridges. With me today, working for a sustainable society, is the chairman of all Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALCON, Engineer Bello Lawal. You're welcome on Bridges. ALCON has designed quite a number of things, but here we'll be doing a lot, we'll be speaking a lot to the health component and of course other social components of it. So, my chair, ALCON has designed a blueprint for, let's start from the very beginning, the local government revitalization in the context of local government autonomy, financial autonomy that you have now. Can you share the highlights of the blueprint with us?
Well, thank you very much, Madam Muji. First of all, the local government, like you rightly mentioned, arising from the landmark judgment that was given by the Supreme Court. It is in the light of that the ALCON, in consultation and coordination with our consultants, we came up with a very, very wonderful document, which is the primary health care revitalization and operationalization program, which is in line with the federal government healthcare revitalization and as well as the SWAP. So we are trying to align our policy and programs with that of the federal government so that we will have the buy-in of the federal government as well as other development partners. So this document, we've actually gone a long way in having conversations with development partners, particularly operating within the health sector cycle, and of course other government agencies that are within the health sector space. And so we made tremendous progress. The highlight, of course, as you rightly said, this document has its own, there's the vision of ALCON in the primary healthcare sector as well as the mission, which I would like to read from the document that is here with me. First of all, as it affects the vision. The vision of it is that, as we are aware that ALCON is the umbrella association of all local governments councils in Nigeria. So the association, which was founded on November 29, 1999, has membership which is institutional of all these 174 local government councils across the federation. Our vision in this is that we want to reposition Nigeria's local government as a third tier of government and entrench sustainable good governance at the local government level through better service delivery at the grassroots.
I'll take you up from there because, yes, the expectation is high, particularly after the judgment. And the concern here is that, does the local government have the capacity to reel out the governance that is expected of them? How are you going to address this? Because whether we like it or not, whether we say it or not, there's trust deficit in governance and the governed.
Thank you very much. So we are approaching this in different angles. First of all, I would like to give some background. You see, the issue of capacity in the local government, I want to assure you and the general public that there is capacity at the local government level. Already, somebody like me, I'm a local government chairman, and I would like you to also understand that there are people like me or even better qualified running local governments across the federation. I'm an engineer, I was a banker with over 10 years experience. I've been in the public service, I was a classroom teacher, and what have you. And when you meet with the national executive of Algon, who are the chairmen of the various states, you will see the level of, expertise, competencies in them. And, we all as leaders have one concern, which is how to better the lives of our people. We are elected and we live within our communities. We know the problems of our people and we are better positioned to address those challenges. And that is what we've been doing since we came on board. And at the national level, of course, it is to demonstrate that capacity that Algon also came up with this document and mobilizing all the 774 local government chairmen through the Algon structure to be able to make them ready and equipped with the necessary knowledge and expertise. We also secure the understanding and buy-in of other development partners that will also support the Algon in capacity building across the 774 local government. We agree that the issue of financial autonomy is new, as we all know. There are some gaps that were identified, but we've also identified some of the ways that we can bridge those gaps by building the capacity of our chairmen. But as it affects the normal day-to-day running of local government council across the federation, you will agree with me that whatever is being done at the moment is being driven by local government councils at the grassroots. So the staff of various departments of local government are the actual staff that work with the agencies of state government to drive policies and programs of the government down to the grassroots. So the capacity is there, but we need to continue to build it so that...
Why people are worried is that you go to the local governments and you find that infrastructural decay, you find, if even the morale of staff is very low. So in this new, should we say, new rebirth for the local government, what would be your priority? Let me ask you as a local government chairman, not as chairman of Algon now, but you are, haven't said to us that you're chairman of a local government. What do you think can actually help to improve the lot at that level?
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, we need to understand where we are coming from as a local government. We all agree that what gave rise to the Supreme Court judgment was the fact that there was no direct, allocation of funds to the local government. So there is this issue of paucity of resources at the local government level across the federation. And so without enough resources to be able to deliver essential services to the people, first of all, there will be that frustration and demoralization on the part of the staff. And also, people, as a result, will not show up for office because virtually there will be nothing to be done when you are there if there are no resources to be able to. But then, at least, the situation is not like general. There are some states that have been doing well, even at that, and people do go to work. So what we intend to do now with this new autonomy, first of all, is to create that new paradigm shift in terms of the attitude of our staff to work and, of course, the attitude of the leadership. Because once the chairman will be on their seat working day and night to provide the basic services expected, and there are some evaluation mechanisms and there are a lot of frameworks that are being developed to ensure accountability at the local government level.
Yes.
So with that, every chairman will sit up to his responsibility and make sure that he leads by example and make sure that he's accountable to the people and, of course, to the donor and other partners. And the money that comes, there are other investigatory agencies that will follow those monies. So you will have to be allowed to do this.
Especially that local government chairmen don't have immunity.
Exactly. We do not have any immunity, and so therefore it behoves on all local government chairmen to make sure they do things right and spend public resources and even private funds that come from other sources judiciously for the benefit of the people, so that at the end of the day, he can have, after his tenure, he can sleep with his two eyes, or even during his tenure, because there is no such thing as immunity for local government chairman. So people are really conscious of that fact and are ready to really work for the benefit of the people at the grassroots.
Take for example, let's do a general overview. What would you say to your colleagues? What should they privatize? What priority should they give to the development index?
Quality and accessible as well as affordable healthcare to our people. That is of paramount importance to the Argon. And then secondly, the compulsory primary education to all our people, our children of our school age, and as well as provide social safety nets through empowerment programs that will improve the well-being of people, provide gainful employment to the citizens, and make sure that all other energies are channeled toward productive activities at the local government in a way that the local government will be turned into a prosperity center, so that at least together...
That's a bridge.
Yes, exactly.
That's the bridge you
exactly,
built.
Exactly.
Prosperity center, yes.
Exactly. So that together now, with all those activities happening across 774 local government, you can say that we can overheat GDP because the production rate will be high, so that the government, the federal government now will now begin to enjoy a higher GDP across the federation, because it is those individual efforts put in those local government, the activity, economic activity, that will translate into the national GDP. And that is why if the local governments now are turned into those prosperity centers, it will be better for the country, and we'll begin to see an integrated development across all the key sectors of the Nigerian economy.
An integrated development.
Yes.
So let's speak to that. I'm sure that you are concerned also about the drift in terms of urbanization. You know, people migrate from the rural to the urban centers. How are you going to attract these human resources that are needed to revitalize all the sectors, as you have mentioned?
Well, on this, let me first of all honestly thank the Attorney General of the Federation for even, deeming it appropriate to really start all this legal, that resulted in the Supreme Court judgment, because it is really one good thing that has ever happened to this country. Because with the local government in a better state, I'm telling you, with the resources that will be going to the local government, we will be in a position to provide services that will attract people, that will even retain people also in their localities. First of all, people will have no business going to urban areas. First, to seek for any greener pasture, because they would have had their local government doing a lot of things there at the local government. The opportunities will be right there. People will have no cause to want to really go to the state to see the governor, because their local government chairman would have taken away all those responsibilities, and people will be at the grassroots trying to see how best they can contribute their own quota. Even in terms of security, it will really help, because local government chairman, the structure, understand the terrain better than any other person that will come from outside. Even though state and local government are so intertwined, but at the local government level, you have peculiarities that are only known to the people that are within that locality. And so local government chairman, leveraging on those structure, traditional institution, of course, the community groups and what have you, will be able to deploy the necessary skills and competencies to address those issues that concern the security and well-being of people within that locality. And together, the issue of insecurity will be very minimal. And at the end of the day, when you have security, of course, people will now begin to channel all their energies toward productive ventures. And the local government there, with the resources that is available, will be able to now do some, critical infrastructure project. By so doing, you award contracts to local contractors. And there is trickle-down effect of those, on a month-by-month basis, monies, millions of naira are going through this and going around the community.
Circulating.
You can begin to imagine the economic impact of that, So seriously, we see this issue of financial autonomy as an opportunity to better the lots of our people at the grassroots, because that is where everybody resides. Whether you are in a state capital or you are in a local government, you are within a local government. So local government is actually one area where the focus of the federal and state government should be, and to make sure that people, when we address the issues that are there, I'm telling you, people will have no cause to come to the Abuja or state capitals to look for anything, because their issues would have been adequately taken care of at the local government level, and their energies and potentials would have been channeled in other productive activities at those levels, so that together you will see the economic impact going up to the national level. So that is our...
Yeah, I know that we have spoken to, raising the accountability bar at the local government, the context of local government autonomy, financial autonomy. I just want you I want to bring that back because it's an important ingredient going forward. So what do we expect from Algon to push the accountability bar?
Okay. Like I'm happy to say that a lot of conversations are going on at the Algon and the federal government level, of course, with the support of state governors through the Nigerian Governors Forum. So on how to have a very strong accountability mechanism for the local government. And I'm happy to say that one of the key things that is being agreed upon is for us to have a uniform operational guidelines for the local government. So once that document is developed, it will be like we'll have standards, procurement standards. We'll also have standards on any other activity that a local government will do. So you will have that uniformity, and the framework in terms of the accounting frameworks will also be developed. And so like starting from first week of January next year, we'll have a training that is now being organized in coordination with the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning on how to synergize across all the relevant agencies of government, so that we'll have pool of resource persons that will come and brainstorm and give lectures to the local government leadership on how to approach those issues of governance and how to make sure that there is transparency, even including the investigatory agencies will be a part of the resource persons that will deliver presentations on those areas. So, and it's something that will be an ongoing thing. Like at the Algon level, we have gone far in our discussion with the EFCC on how to train the local government leadership on issues of procurement and any other issue that affects accountability for public funds. And we've gone far, and to the extent that we've exchanged draft timetable on how to start, or when to start the program. So as we speak now, we're waiting for the response from the AFCC on the timeline on how to proceed, starting from, of course, the National Executive Council of the Algon, then we cascade it down to the states and local government. So it is an ambitious plan.
But it's an important.
It's very important.
It's very important.
It's very important.
Yes. Again, some stakeholders are worried that some of this local government financial autonomy might have negative impact on some healthy policy thrusts, especially primary healthcare under one roof. How do you intend to mitigate such negative consequences?
Okay, good. On the issue of primary healthcare under one roof, at the Algon, we do have a consensus on that issue, because we are not going to do away with that program. Of course, we have ways of addressing it at our different states levels. So there is this issue of joint economic planning boards that are to be set up across all the states, just as we have National Executive Council, where the governors and the federal government sit to do. So on those meetings, you will be able to look at those projects that you have shared goals with the state government and agree on how best to fashion out, the compromise on how to move on those programs, because they definitely affect the health of the people, others affect the education and what have you. So as leaders, our main concern is how to better the lives of our people. And we agree that local government cannot operate in isolation with the state government. Okay. As close as the federal government is to the state, we are more closer to the state than the state is closer to the federal government. So the governors are our leaders. You have to also understand that they are our leaders. They have trust and confidence in us. And that is why they facilitated our emergence as local government chairmen in our respective states. So we are going to work closely with our governors to make sure that we protect these programs like primary health care, and that we will protect primary education, and explore any other areas of common concern and shared objectives, so that together we can move and build a viral society for our people, particularly at
what dream of legacy are you dreaming to leave in your local government? By the way,
Well,
what local government are you chairman? You didn't tell me that.
I am the executive chairman of Kaita local government
Keita,
in Katsina
okay.
State.
Well, I know Keita, so
Yes.
we are going to be tracking you. All right. But seriously,
Yeah.
what areas of priority do you see at that level that you think you want to at least sell to other chairmen like you?
Yeah, particularly for me, as the chairman of Kaita local government, I would like to really change the narrative of governance in my local government. First, by being, selfless in working for the welfare and well-being of the people, not really some narrow, parochial sentiment, and then build bridges, unite the local government as a whole, and then begin to, of course, work to improve the services that are being delivered at local government, particularly the primary health care. That is one area we are very, very passionate about. We are a border local government. And so all these, transnational kind of diseases, they come in through the border area local government. We try to make sure there is enough surveillance at the borders.
At the borders.
Yeah, we work collaboratively with the state government and indeed even the neighboring Republic of Niger. And so we take very seriously the issue of primary health care, so that any matter that comes to my table concerning the health of the people, we accord that utmost priority, and we try to build a lot of primary health care centers so that people will have access to
What are
primary
the
health
old
care.
ones? What are you doing with
The
the
old
old
ones we renovate. We renovate as we speak and construct new healthcare facilities for the people. So health and then education.
Education.
Yeah, particularly, considering where we come from, is the remote part of the Katsina State and the border area, as you rightly said. So people need to really go to school, children of school age, and we need to encourage that by coming up with a lot of incentives.
Boys,
incentives to the
girls.
to the parents. Yeah, and the children. We provide a lot of incentives for people to enroll and to remain in the school after the enrollment, so that we will have a lot of turnout in terms of the numbers. But we are really on that, and we think agriculture also is one area where if you
Food
invest
security.
for food security, and of course for people's livelihood and productivity, because we are 90% an agrarian community, and so if you want to have impact in the lives of the people, so you invest heavily in agriculture, because that is the mainstay of our economy there.
Economy, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, looks like our time is fast spent. I wish the conversation can continue. So what general advice do you have for your members and the general public on the local government financial autonomy?
My first advice to our members is that in this era of financial autonomy, I call on all of us to be very vigilant and really, really be up to our responsibilities, because as you rightly mentioned, the local government chairmen do not enjoy any immunity from prosecution and what have you. So it is very important that we judiciously utilize funds that will be accruing to the local government for the public good. Make sure that we impact positively on the lives of our people in such a way that we will leave a lasting legacy, and people will be lifted out of poverty, and we will provide gainful employment, and make sure we also invest in security, because coming from Katsina, that is one key area we really, really prioritize the security of our people, and I'm happy to say that things are really looking well in that aspect, courtesy of the effort of His Excellency, in coordination, of course, with the local government chairman in the state, that we are really moving forward and bringing it to very barest minimum. And to the general public, I call on them to continue to support the local government system, because local government system is the government that is very, very closest to the people. I would therefore call on all people who have any contribution to give to actually go back to their localities and begin to put themselves within the system, give the necessary contribution, so that together the local administration will be able to provide public services to the people, and by so doing, they would have done a very, very huge favor to this government as citizens, because the people at the grassroots, I agree that we need to attract quality manpower. And for us to be able to do that, this autonomy will be the way to go. People would see that local governments are working, and of course, certain protections that could be, provided for the local government chairman, so that there will be security of their job and what have you. So that at the end of the day, people who are, who have attained some level of expertise and the position in the country will begin now to go back after retirement or even during their service back to the local government areas, so that they can become local government chairmen and what have you, to give back to their communities. We need people like that. In developed countries, you see people who have spent many years working in the federal government after retirement who go back to their communities, and that is where they support their people and make sure that they build institutions at the local level that will provide public services to their people.
Okay. Well, it's been interesting having the chairman of chairmen of local governments, Engineer Bello Lawal. It's been wonderful having you here. We'll keep tracking the success of the LGA financial autonomy, and we hope that the bridge that you started building today as an engineer will be sustainable. I want to thank you very much for your time. I know that everybody has a role to play in ensuring that these new powers, these new financial powers, are things that can turn around the fortunes of Nigerians at any level. So be a partner and let local government financial autonomy work for you and, of course, me. Thanks for coming. That's it on Bridges. We'll be back same time next week. Thanks for watching.